Hey y'all, Lindsay here from Fearless Coaching. I got a beautiful beach behind me. I got some seagulls back there. There's some fun people walking on the beach. If I close my eyes a few times throughout this video, apologies in advance. I came out and it's pretty bright. The sun's overhead. Okay, how much do you love yourself? Really? Like, let's dig in, take a moment, self reflect, self assessment. How much do you truly love yourself? So, I'm going to bring up a few things in regards to this topic throughout this video that can kind of help you to assess how much you truly love yourself in your life. And I believe this is a complex question, right? So we can have different levels of self love. So that's why I'm going to kind of bring up a few tidbits of topics just to make you think about it and see if you have self love in one area, but maybe might be lacking or need to grow in another area. So we talk a lot about self love in the self development world, the self growth world, but even outside of that world, I feel like self love should be atop the list because if we don't love ourselves, how can we love others? How can we be in an intimate relationship? How can we truly give of ourselves if we don't really love who we are within? So, here are a few topics that I would like to go over just to basically food for thought, like get the brain working a little bit. So, let's talk about self talk. How is your self talk? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it continually positive? Where does it fluctuate to? How often does it fluctuate? How often are you really kind and complimentary to other people around you and really loving? And then in your moments alone, you spiral into a negative. You compare yourself to others. You think, I'm not good enough. I'm not successful enough. I'm not good looking enough. I wish I had that. I wish I had this. I don't have this yet, therefore I don't have enough money, this, that, and the other. And the mind can really spiral into that black hole, right? And then we can have a tendency to go into compare and despair mode, which is really easy in the world that we live in today because of social media, because of technology in general, and just the access to so many people's lives. But what we don't realize is everybody has their challenges. Everybody has their moments of self-worth, lack of self-worth, and lack of self-love in their lives. And although everything might look beautiful from the outside, we don't always know what is going on in the inside. We don't always know what that person's story is, what that person's other side of their life looks like. So when we compare and despair, it's like we look at others' lives and think, oh, I'll love myself or I'll have enough worth when I have that thing, or when I have that job, or I have the relationship like they do, or I have the amount of followers, or I have the amount of likes. So there's this tendency to compare and despair to others. And it really detracts from our self-love and self-worth because it means we don't fully embody and love who we are, the true uniqueness that we bring into the world. So the next one is looking outside of ourselves for validation and for completion. So when we're not completely and fully in love with ourselves, we seek validation from others around us. The ego seeks validation from outside of ourselves rather than knowing within that we freaking rock, that we're freaking amazing. So we search for others to validate that within ourselves, compliments from others or partnerships from others in order to complete us. And the idea here is to be fully complete on our own. And that is true self-love and self-worth. The next one is, how do we allow others to treat us and speak to us? So do others speak down to you ever? Or do they treat you in a negative manner, in a way that you don't like, in a way that you don't appreciate, in a way that makes you feel frustrated and angry? So this is the moment to take responsibility for our side of the coin. Yes, we can't control how others treat us always, but we can control how we react to it and how we assert ourselves in the world. If someone is speaking to you in a way that is not okay with you, it's okay to say it's not okay, to stand up for yourself, to assert yourself. So this is all about how we allow others to treat us and speak to us, and also healthy boundaries with people in our lives. So if there are people who are just treating us in a terrible way, we don't have to allow that to continue to happen in our lives. We can create healthy boundaries, which is a whole other video that I can get into, but this is just the idea of food for thought. Like, how do you allow others to treat you in your life? What are your relationships like? Are you constantly frustrated because you feel like people are treating you in a way that is disrespectful? Okay, and then the final one is, how do you treat your body and mind? What are you filling yourself with? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What are you eating? What are you thinking? What are your spiritual, what are your emotions? What are your spiritual practices? Are you taking in things that are nourishing to you, your body, your soul, your mind, your emotions? Are you spending time with people who are positive and nourishing? Or are you taking in things that are detrimental to your well-being? And this can be on any level, the physical level, the spiritual level, the emotional, the mental. We go for a holistic approach here at Fine Fearless. So that's the question. Are you doing and eating and surrounding yourself with energy and people that nourish you? Or is it the opposite? Okay, those are my little topics for food for thought for the week. Your act of courage is to really just consider all of the topics that I brought up. And maybe you're freaking rocking it at most of them and your self-love journey is on point. But maybe you see one where you can improve at. Or maybe one completely lacks in your life and you're like, that's the one I'm going to focus on. So awareness around self-love this week. Where is your self-love? How strong is it? How do you feel about it? And where can you potentially improve it? Because I feel like it's this ongoing evolutionary journey. So I am sending you so much love.